Kuzampo, a very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Bhutan. Our top stories this week. Extended Pediatric Intensive Care Unit at the National Referral Hospital inaugurated. 14 to 29% of basic salary raise for public servants proposed. And 2 turbines of Mangdishu project expected to start generating power from May. Her Majesty the Queen Mother Sringpe Mongshuk inaugurated 2 additional beds and all sets of equipment for Pediatric Intensive Care Unit or PICU at the National Referral Hospital. 2 sets of beds and equipment in the unit were donated by Her Majesty the Queen Mother. With this, the unit now has 7 beds.
These 2 sets of beds and equipment cost 6 million Newton. It is expected to cater health services to about 200 child patients in pediatric intensive care unit annually. The unit is an area within a hospital specializing in the care of critically ill infants or child.
Last year, during the 60th anniversary of Her Majesty's birthday, Her Majesty Gyalum Aji Tsiripi Mongchu Chok Ongchu gave a donation of 6 million to the Jimidoji Ongchu National Referral Hospital to increase the number of beds in the PICU from 5 to 7 beds. So the benefits are enormous, and we would like to thank Her Majesty for this generous contribution to the hospital ceremony.
Her Majesty the Queen Mother Sringpe Mongchuk also donated 1 million Newton towards promoting palliative care in the National Referral Hospital. It will be used particularly for cancer patients. The hospital introduced palliative care in March 2018 with the introduction of radiation and chemotherapy services.
Well, we have started a small unit providing palliative care to cancer patients. After we started the radiation and chemotherapy in the hospital, we are no more referring patients to Kolkata for treatment. Because the palliative care was not approved during the preparation of the 12-5 plan, it is not featured in the plan, so therefore not funded. So this contribution of 1 million from Her Majesty will play a big role in promoting palliative care.
However, the National Referral Hospital faces acute shortage of nurses in the pediatric intensive care unit, but the management said it could be solved if they become fully autonomous. For Pema, this is Pemal Harden, BBS News.
Now, if everything goes as planned, patients in Mongar and Gilifu region will no longer have to visit the National Referral Hospital to see medical specialists and other doctors. The government has plans to merge 3 referral hospitals and delink human resources from the Royal Civil Service Commission. The move will allow specialists to move from one hospital to another.
If the proposal goes through, the hospitals will be able to provide equal health services to everyone as an independent body. According to the Health Minister, the hospital is not able to send specialists to Mongar and Gelipu regional referral hospitals with the current system. Since National Referral Hospital is also the teaching hospital, the minister shared that most of the specialists have to stay here in Thimphu.
Tata machub da michelu kangel bom chikachi yu sawachin te ane jusgo shapto shuni ki tonle te na ungo be khara Thimpulu omi kale dose mindu nyep nya de gobe tina the ni le tap deu ma deure thön be wachin roram be me mindu ane be boda ta ngachi gi ani sumdi merge be digi be yaso bachin dealing be yaso bachin tele ngachi gi specialist ra bero move beni gi kokap dubala.
To manage human resources independently, the government has developed a concept. It will be submitted to the Royal Civil Service Commission once the new commissioners join the office.
So yale dealing jochin ta jimi du jonshu di ta autonomous grant be di halam longa dune jumela. Still not being able to dealing from civil servant, which means tato kangel bom chi gachi yusa wachin JTW nalu kechok mino kechok chi lenge sarora they cannot la onsera mi la doctor chi shanka tange saroy onse mi la ta ane bodalu ngache gi shaptolu na me same thopodi gi yula so gi shaptolu especially secondary the tertiary level care la.
Currently, there are 85 specialists in 3 referral hospitals and 63 of them are here at the National Referral Hospital. With additional information from Pema Chawang, this is Sonam Chodan for PBS News.
Students who went to Japan through the Learn and Earn program and their parents have decided to file a case in court against Bhutan Employment Overseas or BEO. They say they will be registering the case within this month. The decision came after a final meeting was conducted among the parents and students recently.
The meeting, which was conducted in Thimphu, saw more than 200 parents and youth. The meeting was held to unanimously decide on whether to file a case against BEO or not.
So far, we have been trying to seek help from Bhutan government for the students who are still in Japan and those who are back to Bhutan. Now, after knowing that government is not able to give a justice to youths, we have decided, parents and the students have decided to file a case against Bhutan Employment Overseas Agent that's based on breach of contract.
The Parents Committee said they've gathered power of attorney from over 500 students so far to file the case. Power of attorney is an authority given to lawyers to represent someone on their behalf in the court.
When it comes to filing a case against agent, students have already filled up power of attorney. They are giving authorization to the lawyer to represent on behalf of them in the court. And now those parents and students who attended yesterday's meeting, almost 100% of them are ready to support our team.
On the other hand, Bhutan Employment Overseas, through a written statement, stated that BEO is indeed relieved that the case is finally going to court.
We have always been ready. In fact, waiting impatiently because the drama and falsehood played out in the mainly social media with so much carelessness and insensitivity have hurt many. BEO has always maintained that it is the courts and not the media platforms that are ultimate dispenser of judgment on whether someone is right or wrong.
BEO stated,
in particular, we are worried that the students themselves, even in those in Japan currently, will be impacted adversely as from BEO's point of view. The case will have to be dealt with on a student-to-student basis, not collectively, given the difference in the nature of problems, if at all, they were from one individual to other.
The problem came into limelight towards the end of last year after some students claimed that BEO had breached the contract agreements of the program. For Pyeongchang, Yishe Gelson, BBS News.
The Fourth Pay Commission recommends a revision of basic pay of public servants ranging from 14% to 29%, with higher rate of revision at the lower position. The Commission released its report on the salary, allowances and benefits for civil servants and other relevant public servants on Tuesday. The Cabinet is currently reviewing the report, which will be submitted to the Parliament for deliberation.
Revision for Cabinet and Government Secretaries, Deputy Speaker of National Assembly and Deputy Chairperson of National Council, Members of Parliament, Constitutional Post Holders, Dumpins of Supreme Court and High Court, and Chief Justice of High Court and Supreme Court is at 14%. For Executive and Specialist level, it is 15%, while for Professional and Management or P level, the proposed increment is 16%. Similarly, 18% and 21% salary raise are proposed for supervisory level and operational level respectively. The Commission recommends the revision of pay of the Thompins by 15%. For other local government functionaries, the salary was revised by 40% in 2017. The revision for Rapa and Para-Regular and if instructors and Gedrungs is at 16 to 29%. The Pay Commission recommends enhancing PF contribution of the government from 11% to 18% to ensure that members receive adequate retirement benefits. It also recommends lifting the maximum ceiling gratuity of 1.5 million UTM to encourage public servants to serve longer and to enhance their post-retirement benefits. Regarding allowances, the report recommends revising allowance for the Red Cabinet recipients from 100 UTM to 10,000 UTM per month for all serving and retired. And in recognition to the crucial need of professionals in health and education, the Commission recommends the revision and introduction of allowances in these sectors. The house rent allowance has been reviewed and considered at 20% of the recommended revised pay for public servants, 30% for term-based appointments and members of parliament. This increases the house rent allowance for cabinet and government secretaries by 71%, while 21% and less than 21% for the rest. As per the Commission's report, the net annual implication of the recommended pay revision, allowances and benefits is estimated at 4.2 billion, an increase of about 30% from the existing pay and allowances expenditure. The financial implication over the next 4 years is about 17.9 billion, which is within the fiscal space of the 12th five-year plan outlay. The Commission recommends implementation of pay, allowances and benefits with effect from the 1st of July this year. Sudampem for BBS News.
Now, the Fourth Pay Commission has recommended the option of monetizing the existing vehicle quotas. This means that those public servants who are eligible for vehicle import quota can opt for monetary compensation if they do not wish to avail the quota.
At present, civil servants at the P3 level and above are entitled to a vehicle quota every 7 years. This exempts them from paying customs duty and sales tax up to 800,000 UTM. Similarly, cabinet ministers and members of parliament are entitled to a one-time free of customs duty and sales tax exemption to import a vehicle up to 3000 cc. In a usual case scenario, the quota holder will already have a vehicle or would not have enough money to buy one. So what happens is that they end up selling the quota, which is illegal by the way, and fetches them around 190,000 UTM. The Pay Commission has reported that issuing vehicle quota has implications in foregone revenue. A minimum of 620.6 million UTM of revenue was foregone last year. The revenue foregone doubles if vehicles are imported from countries other than India. There is also an impact on the country's limited foreign exchange reserve. Thus, the Pay Commission is saying that if you don't wish to use the quota, no need to avail it. Just take the 250,000 UTM in lieu of the vehicle quota. The ministers and the MPs can also take the one-time 1.5 million UTM in place of the quota. The Pay Commission has also recommended the government to issue one-time vehicle quota or 1.5 million UTM takeaway option to holders of offices appointed by His Majesty the King. The positions are Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, holders and commissioners of constitutional offices, Justices of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice and Trunkpins of the High Court, the Attorney General, Cabinet and Government Secretaries, and the RMA Governor. All of them are currently entitled to the 800,000 UTM ceiling vehicle quota. Thompes and GUFs have also been recommended to be issued with the 800,000 UTM ceiling quota. However, if the public servants take the quota and then decide to sell it illegally, the Commission has recommended a penalty double the original vehicle cost. Sharab Doji, BBS News.
Despite an increasing international interest to co-produce films in Bhutan, the Bhutanese film industry is not able to work together with international investors. This is because there is no co-production guideline in the country. The proposed National Film Commission, together with relevant agencies, will now develop the guideline. A co-production is a joint venture between two or more different production companies for the purpose of film production.
The film industry in Bhutan boomed within a short span of time. However, most of the films produced in the country cater to only local audience. But Bhutan is gaining international interest and popularity because of its brand, locations and sceneries. Attracting foreign productions might inspire and generate income for both film industry and the government. And for this, The film industry requires applicable rules and regulations to manage international developments and investments.
And once the co-production takes place, the biggest advantage we have is we don't have to worry about marketing our films, because now so far we lack that marketing idea. So the marketing part will be taken care alongside of what's investment. The co-production companies will invest in Bhutan, and at the same time lot of job opportunities will be created.
The obvious benefit of co-production is the size of the target audience. For a country like Bhutan, films can be the best way to show its culture, people and society to the world through such joint ventures. The Korean International Cooperation Agency, or KOICA, is going to guide and provide support to the proposed National Film Commission in drafting the co-production guideline and other filming regulations for Bhutan.
I think you have a very, very big opportunities because it's so small now. So I feel that it's a blue ocean, and not so many people in the world knows about Bhutanese culture. So by improving films, you can show the world about how wonderful Bhutanese culture is.
KOICA for the first time launched a country-focused fellowship program last year to develop the growing Bhutanese film sector in Bhutan. Sunampem for BBS News.
2 of the 4 turbines of the 720 megawatt Mangdechu project are ready for commissioning. Following successful tests, the machines are now expected to start generating power from May. This, however, means a delay since the commissioning dates of the 2 turbines had been set for March end.
Only testing of the 2 turbines could be carried out last month, and it proved a success. Each of the project's 4 units will produce 180 megawatts of electricity. The first 2 turbines are scheduled to generate full power by the end of May. The other 2 units are expected to start commissioning in June.
Machines have behaved very well. Now there is no vibrations, there is no noise in the machine. And the moment everything is ready, which I'm seriously thinking that by between 22nd April to 25th of April, things should be quite ready for the spinning process. And after that, we'll start spinning the machines.
The other 2 turbines, which are under construction, are also set to be ready within 3 weeks. Filling of the water reservoir at the dam is also underway simultaneously. The water will be diverted through the desilting chamber once the water level is raised to the required height.
We are filling the reservoir, and this we are going first in the first stage up to MDDL. That's called minimum drawdown level. The elevation is 1730.5 meters. So we started filling the reservoir from 1702 meter. So say roughly 28.5 meter we have to fill up. Theoretically, will take 14 days to fill up the MDTL.
Once the water is discharged from the desilting chamber, filling up of the entire tunnel will also begin. 9 meters of water will be filled on a daily basis, which is expected to take about a week. Meanwhile, they added there will be fluctuation in the water levels of the river once the water is diverted into the tunnel. The project is requesting people to refrain from going near the river. This is Pasa, BBS News, Tromsø.
For the people of Songlojong in Shemgang, it's likely the income from one of their main cash crops, banana, will not be as expected this season. Their sole buyer, Kendri Namsum Cooperative, has cut down its production after a fire in June last year left its factory damaged. People of Songlojong in Tonggeok took up mass banana cultivation after the cooperative's factory was set up in the locality. They planted banana trees on almost 80 acres of land. And this season, although the harvest looks promising, the income from it seems otherwise.
It would be beneficial if the government could restore the factory at the earliest. We will be encouraged to produce more because we will have a ready market here.
Similarly, the people of neighboring village Goling have been affected since they also grow banana in mass.
The income from growing bananas will be affected with the factory damaged. The harvest would go to vain. If the factory is restored, it will benefit us.
The
cooperative buys most of our produce, but this time I'm doubtful if they would. Our mass harvest would go to waste.
The cooperative has been requesting the concerned authorities for their factory's restoration, but so far nothing has come of it.
The biggest concern today is that the harvest season for bananas is approaching. People have been asking us if we would buy all of it, but that would be possible only if the government supports us in restoring the factory with all its equipment.
Kenri Namsum Cooperative lost equipment worth 3 million yutam along with tons of raw and processed materials to the fire incident last year. At present, the members manage with a small congested room that serves as both office and factory. Besides processed items such as bamboo shoots, banana chips and chili pickles, KNC has undertaken commercial farming of winter vegetables and fruits as well. The diversity is to stimulate sustainable practices and encourage commercial farming in Shemgang. For Pema Samdup in Shemgang, Pup KM for BBS News. Now, people across the country can avail themselves of a more reliable connectivity to watch BBS channels. This is possible following the commissioning of South Asia Satellite's uplink in Bhutan, although its formal launch is due.
For the service, individuals have to buy a receiver dish antenna, cable, and set-top box. The set-top box is encrypted with free-to-air FTA, and users will not have to pay its monthly charges. Apart from television and radio channels, it will also provide a few free channels.
The downlink bending denlela, the shapto linigi denle, the teacher disudalo, the ngachigi ane.
To downlink the signal through the equipment, it is not necessary for people to depend on experts or technical people. Anyone can handle it easily. They just have to know how to set the frequency number, which is 11233.
11233 megas na top station.
The equipment can be purchased from the border towns of Phuntsling and Samdipjonkar. Its cost will differ depending upon the quality.
Lowest quality na lebe wajin de niktong abje ban top station nila. Anale yata achi consolation.
The lowest quality would cost around 2000 to 2500 Newton, but it will come without a warranty. If it's of a superior quality, it would cost more and there will be a warranty as well. We heard some dealers are charging high in rural areas. Maybe it's because of transportation and labor charges.
The installation charge ani lembe the debe gonzedi tomin chachamena ngachigi dokpadi the institutional.
To avoid exorbitant installation charges, officials are encouraging people to buy and set up the equipment themselves. The South Asia Satellite is a gift from India to its neighboring countries. Apart from television and radio signals, the satellite will also help enhance communication services during disasters. For Bemaswang, Bemasaldan Sring, BBS News.
Ugen Sachap Doji, the president of Bhutan Football Federation, becomes the first Bhutanese to be elected as the executive committee member of Asian Football Confederation. The Asian Football Confederation, AFC, is the governing body of Asian football and one of the 6 confederations making up FIFA.
Following the recent election conducted during the 29th AFC Congress Kuala Lumpur 2019, the BFF's president was elected as the AFC Executive Committee member on a 4-year term. This important milestone in the Bhutanese football history is expected to further develop the sport in the country.
For 9 years I've been passionate about football, developing football in Bhutan, but now I've got the platform to voice this passion in the Asian Football Confederation as an executive committee member. So I think having the passion and the platform is giving me an opportunity to at least be a part of further development of football in Bhutan as well as in Asia.
He added, as an executive committee member to AFC, he will not only help Bhutan but also help the smaller Asian nations to develop football in the region.
My contribution as an executive committee member would not only be for Bhutan, but actually would be a voice for the smaller nations. I would be able to coordinate with the smaller countries into letting them know what the opportunities are. I could also voice their concerns and their request to the AFC management. So I feel that the role I'll play would of course be much more beyond just Bhutan football.
The AFC's executive committee is responsible for implementing the AFC's laws, the decisions of the AFC Congress, as well as ratifying decisions made by the AFC's standing committee. Today, AFC comprises of a president and 24 members from the 47 countries. This is Pasang Duji for BBS News.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you very much for watching.